Welcome to this week's SIIA Tech Chats. I'm Reid, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Reid, the CEO of Inacct. Now, Inacct is a leading cloud ERP provider, and they've also been named Bay Area's top workplace for the last 6 years in a row. I believe that honor is certainly relative of the culture Robert has created. So, Robert, congratulations, and thank you for joining us today.
Brianna, thanks so much for having us today.
So let's jump right in. We continue to see tremendous growth in the cloud financial management space. And of course, Inacct continues to experience strong growth. I think I saw 40% growth in new bookings. What's fueling this growth in the financial management space today?
Yeah, Rihanna, what we're seeing today is that CFOs really want to be the strategic advisor to the board, to the CEO, to the rest of the organization. And today, with the older accounting systems, they're really having to do a lot of accounting work. So they spend 80% of their time just making sure that the beans are getting counted in an appropriate manner. And they're not able to spend the time from a strategic standpoint. So cloud solutions like Inacct are really allowing them to automate their processes and then get real-time feedback as to the growth drivers that are going on within their business and or any kind of risks that are permeating in the organization because they're seeing that information in real time as opposed to getting it at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter. In fact, Inacct has a unique capability that's called the digital board book. So you're seeing all the growth metrics in real time. So for like a software company, it's what's the change in monthly recurring revenue? What's your customer acquisition cost? What is your churn? What's your cash position? There are multiple metrics that are not normally GAAP that actually are more important than GAAP. Now, we do GAAP, but we also provide those operational metrics so that everybody can understand in real time what's really going on and how then to grow the business faster. So the CFO in their organization wants to help the rest of their organization, and that's why they are now moving to cloud very rapidly because they can do such a better job to help the company grow.
Seems like it took them a while. I'm glad to see that the move is happening rapidly now. I want to talk a little bit about the new RevRec rules. You recently released some survey results that showed companies have not started making plans to adjust to the new RevRec rules. Why do you think CFOs and finance teams are not preparing for the new rules? And what advice would you give them? Because it's coming.
It is coming. And that is actually how this manifested itself as to people not doing anything about it, because vast majority of people felt it was going to get delayed. It's so comprehensive, so extensive, it's going to impact every organization out there that most CFOs thought, they've got to push it out. They cannot require us to make these changes because it's going to have a significant impact on our business. And the fact is, they're not changing it. They did delay it a year ago, and there's not going to be another delay. So for public companies, we're really only like 2 years away from them having to have everything in place. Now, that's if they have a contract, a 1-year contract. If they have a multi-year contract, they're already behind. They already need to be moving forward with having this in place. With Inacct, we've totally automated the process for revenue recognition under the current 605 plan, and also can accommodate this new RevRec for 606. And you can see both simultaneously within Inacct in a totally automated process, not requiring any additional accountants. If you don't have a solution like Inacct, the CFOs are going to have to be adding staff to be able to take into account the 605 and the 606 rules. So it's going to cost them more to get business done if they don't do it in automated fashion. Now, our advice is that they should be working with their auditors as to the impact that they expect and how to approach it. They should talk with then their audit committee after getting the advice from their auditors about what would be the logical plan. But they're actually going to have to talk with, it's not just a back office implication, it's also a front office, potential front office implication as to how to be most efficient between the front office and the back office to accommodate these new rules. If they are going to have to make some changes and also in the front office, it's going to be a major project. So they need to get on to it now. If they procrastinate, they're really going to be in a lot of hurt, and it's going to cost them a lot of money.
I've seen the rec rules, and it's about that thick. It's a little scary. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about the automation side and how we can help the companies. You have the contract and revenue management applications. How have you had any reactions from your customers so far about how those are helping them as they, kind of assess their processes to abide by the new rules?
Yeah, well, the customer feedback we've received is that they're amazed that we are able to fully automate this whole process. To your point, it's very, very complex, and there's massive changes that are going on. And we're the only organization that has set the system on up to be able to fully automate. There are a few others that have made announcements that they're going to have a solution, but it still requires you to add some manual effort, which means you have to hire more accountants. So the main thing that our customers are telling us is we can't believe that you figured out how to automate the whole thing. You're making us be extremely efficient. We're not having to really interrupt our business at all. Of course, they have to put in the new contract module. So yes, there is some work to be done, but then after that initial work is done, it's fully automated as they go forward. And then what they really like is that this is so complex with regard to revenue recognition forecasting, to be able to do it under the new and the old simultaneously, and it's all automated for them. They find that amazing.
Are you seeing more customers start to take advantage of the new application and be able to do this?
We had aggressive plans associated with this, and we are far exceeding those plans, and we're adding additional resources rapidly because of the demand. It's been quite exciting.
That's fantastic. That's good to hear. So at your Advantage 2016 event, you gave a preview of the Intact Action user experience. Can you tell us a little bit about it and why this is now an important part of your product roadmap?
Yeah, we've always felt that doing accounting is hard, and you want to try to automate as much as you possibly can. But then when the staff does have to put information into the system, you want to make it as easy as possible. And so we've always had an effort of how can we take hard accounting concepts and make them easy for users so they can be as productive as possible. What, though, the vast majority of the concentration of our industry has been how do we make the overall organization more efficient with having an accounting system? What we believe is that not only do you have to enact those business processes to make the organization effective, we also need to make individual accountants more effective in their job. So what we've created in our new UI is a very dynamic, personalized setup where the individual can go in and set up the UI the way they want to work and based on what their priorities are, and the system then helps them through getting to the task at hand faster and pulls up what they need to get the job done. So we've got rave reviews at our user conferences. People saw the new UI that we were introducing last month.
That's fantastic. Robert, thank you so much for your time and insights today. For more information on Intact and SIIA, please visit our websites and be sure to join us next week for SIIA's Tech Chat.